Part 32. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu Da Cha Xiao. Chapter 311. I don't want to leave. Yeah, there is no food outside and it's dangerous. I'm used to living here and don't want to leave. Isn't it just an injection of a vaccine? I'll just do it. Yeah, I'm a first-level awakener. If I lose my strength, I'll be gone. Anyway, I don't have to go out to fight zombies. As long as you eat and cover, you can do whatever you say, I have no opinion. The survivors shouted. In their opinion, food and safety are more important than the strength of the awakened. In the crowd, Wu Liang gritted his teeth. It seems that Xiao Wang's actions last night were discovered. But he shouldn't have confessed me, or they'll come to arrest me now, instead of using this method. Xiao Wang is still very loyal. However, if what they say is true, the vaccine is incapacitating. Isn't my dignified fourth-level awakener going to become an ordinary person? It doesn't work. No. It would be too suspicious if you refused. They said they were expelled. Who knows if there will be a killer? The end of the undercover discovery has always been miserable. This medicine, I still have to inject, so that I can continue to lurk here. After a series of mental constructions, Wu Liang finally made a decision. This time, of the 4 agents, he was the only one left. If the task is not completed, the company will certainly not let itself go. Fight. Wu Liang, along with other survivors, waited in line for vaccination under the monitoring of a large number of armed personnel. In the process of queuing, a survivor near Wu Liang suddenly regretted it. I'm not injecting anymore. I finally reached the second-level awakening, I don't want to become an ordinary person. The guy screamed and rushed outside. Wu Jiangguo, who was in charge of the security at the scene, gave Zhu Ming a look. Zhu Ming immediately caught up with the guy. After that, there was no movement in that direction, and I didn't know whether the guy died or ran away. Wu Liang's heartbeat started to speed up a little. It looks like it's too late to regret it now. Soon, Wu Liang entered the shed and received the injection. As soon as the vaccine entered the body, Wu Liang felt that the strength of his whole body was being stripped inch by inch. Like sage time, a sense of emptiness slowly took over his heart. I just become an ordinary person. Wu Liang wanted to cry. Level 4 awakened. How much pain did he suffer to have such strength? It disappeared in an instant. I hope that after completing the task, the company can find a way to get its strength back. The vaccinated survivors all received cigarettes and alcohol, and they all looked happy. Usually, they can only get basic food and water. Tobacco and alcohol are luxuries. These can be obtained by getting a vaccine. Some people can't wait to get vaccinated every day. Strength is a shit. These survivors were successively taken to the suburbs by Dabra. A resettlement house has been built there. For the next period of time, they will work and live in this area under the strict guard of zombies. However, for them, it is enough to eat and drink, and living is not life. Wu Liang looked at the tight defense and felt a little desperate. How do you get out of this? Do you want to be a part-time worker here for the rest of your life? In H City, Chen Xiang evacuated to Pudong with hundreds of zombies. Before, the zombies in H City were a three-pronged situation. Later, one of the forces was fooled and suddenly went south, breaking the original balance in an instant. Chen Xiang took the younger brothers after a hard fight and successfully won the control of H City. What he didn't expect was that it didn't take long for hundreds of thousands of zombies to come to the north. From quantity to strength, Chen Xiang is not their opponent. Even if Chen Xiang was promoted to the Corpse Emperor level 2 days ago, he still couldn't withstand the opponent's attack. Most of the younger brothers left by his side are the ones who came from N City with him. They are still loyal, and they didn't turn away instantly like other zombies. Boss, They plan to cross the river. What should we do? A burly red-eyed zombie asked nervously. They came in a siege and didn't give us a way to survive at all. Let's go east. Pudong Airport is right by the sea. If you can find some planes that can still fly, maybe there is still a chance. Chen Xiang gritted his teeth as he looked at the black tide of corpses behind him. Since he left the N city, he has worked hard all the way, and finally won the H city. Unexpectedly, the corpse tide from the north easily destroyed all his efforts. Right now, Chen Xiang just wants to save the lives of his brothers. The big deal is to start all over again. Hundreds of zombies fled all the way and finally came to Pudong Airport. Grass. Looking at the messy airport, Chen Xiang couldn't help but swear. All planes have broken wings. Not one can fly. What kind of guy has nothing to do, and dismantled the plane? The strong man with red eyes beside Chen Xiang complained. I remember that humans came here before and escaped by plane. It should be that the zombies here at that time simply dismantled the plane in order to avoid the same thing from happening. A younger brother said. Grass. There's nowhere to run this time. Chen Xiang looked back and saw that some of the corpses that were chasing had rushed into the airport and would soon come to the runway. Boss, what should I do? The younger brothers looked at Chen Xiang one after another. He was their backbone. In this case, everyone could only pin their hopes on him. There is an escape ladder on the plane, and that thing is inflated. Tear down a few speeds, let's run into the sea. Chen Xiang quickly came up with the idea. The zombie boys rushed to the plane and began to fiddle with the inflatable escape ladder. Chen Xiang took 100 or so powerful younger brothers to stop the first wave of zombies rushing over. Boss, we've got 20, enough. A few minutes later, the dismantling team shouted while carrying the escape ladder. Withdraw. Go to the beach. Chen Xiang led his men to fight and retreat, and the group slowly approached the coast. When they got to the beach, Chen Xiang and his party were dumbfounded. Although the sea is not far away, but there are sharp rocks and reefs everywhere below the cliffs. You can't jump right away. It is estimated that the inflatable escape ladder was scratched by a sharp stone before it reached the sea. Pie time. The sweet and greasy sand sculpture dog food of tsundere and illness is a daily novel. Sick girlfriend a little sweet. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 312. Seeing that the zombies in front were surrounded like a tide, Chen Xiang clenched his fists. Yes, I can't fight here. They have momentum, and will be crushed off the cliff. Ali, spread out the inflatable slide and lead the brothers to jump down. Chen Xiang ordered. The men did so immediately. One by one inflatable slides are paved with several layers of air cushions. Hundreds of zombies jumped down one after another. Boss, there are still 3 air cushions that are not broken, you can take a few brothers and go first. Ali, the red-eyed zombie, persuaded him. No, you go. I'll help you in the rear. Chen Xiang's eyes were red, and he was about to enter a fighting state. Boss, if you don't leave, neither will we. He's NN, everyone is killed together from the computer city, and if you want to die, you have to die together. Ali said. He is one of the few zombies who have been following Chen Xiang since Computer City. Yes, boss, let's die together. Even if you die, you will have to pull dozens of pads. Chen Xiang's younger brothers shouted one after another. Chen Xiang sighed and looked up. A white-haired figure appeared on the edge of the cliff. You're pretty good. Surrender, surrender to me, and I will give you a way to live. As long as you kneel, it's all over. The white-haired zombie on the edge of the cliff said to Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang raised his eyebrows. In this situation, it is possible that only surrender can save the lives of the brothers. Boss, don't listen to him. Let's come all the way, when have we been cowardly? Never kneel to him. Ali persuaded him. Yes, Brother Li is right. We'd rather die than give in. The other brothers also shouted. While Chen Xiang was relieved, his heart also began to struggle. The brothers have followed me for so long, I can't watch them go to death. Kneel, just kneel. Just when Chen Xiang was about to make a decision, he found that the expressions of the zombies on the cliff suddenly changed. They all stared straight ahead. Chen Xiang turned around and saw an astonishing scene. A huge battleship is heading this way. This year, still bring technology. On the bow of the Missouri, Wang Ran put down the telescope. Uncle, there are so many zombies ahead, what's the situation? Tang Tang asked. It seems that two groups of zombies are facing each other. One of them is in a bad situation. By the way, that guy. Don't you remember Tang Tang, we encountered a mutant zombie when we went to the power plant. We had a few conversations with him at the time. Wang Ran asked. Ah. You said that guy. I remember when he stuck me in the refrigerator at Computer City. The power plant, oh, that's the first time I had a fight with a tank zombie there. And then we went to the container factory. Tang Tang blushed when he said this. The first time he overthrew Wang Ran was on that day. One pushes 10 times in a row. In this way, Tang Tang is less disgusted with the zombie named Chen Xiang. Uncle, you see they are all cornered. Why don't you help them? Tang Tang encouraged him next to him. Of course help. There are so many zombies in H City, and it is impossible to kill them by killing them. There must be a zombie agent. This Chen Xiang had a little friendship with us before and is the most suitable candidate. Xiao, you go to inform the following, prepare for the bombardment. Except for the zombies below, all others can be killed. Wang Ran ordered. Good host. Su Xiao immediately ran to the cabin. Tang Yan looked envious. A battleship is different. Unlike the rotten country, there are boats, but almost all the people who can sail are dead. Most of the strategic weapons have become decorations. Before long, the muzzle was aimed at the shore. Boom. 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 3 bursts of main artillery. A large number of zombies on the shore were directly killed by shelling. Even zombies with red eyes were not spared. This kind of large-scale bombardment depends entirely on luck. Yes, it depends on whether it is you. In an instant, the zombies on the shore were in chaos. They wailed and roared, scurrying about like headless flies. Many zombies also fell off the cliff and were killed by Chen Xiang, who was guarding below. After 2 rounds of shelling, thousands of zombies on the shore were directly bombed to death, and a few thousand others died of trampling and falling. The white-haired zombie looked at the steel warship in horror. Just now, if the muzzle was a little bit more biased, it would be him who was bombed. He wasn't sure if he could survive under the muzzle, either. Withdraw. After a brief hesitation, the white-haired zombie gave the order to retreat. On the shore, facing such artillery is courting death. The corpse tide began to evacuate quickly. However, the gunfire did not stop. You know, the Missouri's main gun has a range of more than 40 kilometers. Although there was no vision on the boat, Wang Ran let them blast for a while in the direction of the corpse tide. These rounds of shelling should have caused a great shock to those zombies. Immediately afterwards, Wang Ran put down several small boats, and brought Tang Tang, Xiao, Tang Yan, and others to the shore. The hundreds of zombies standing in the rubble suddenly became vigilant. These human cannons are too powerful, and it may be really easy to kill them. It's you. Chen Xiang recognized Wang Ran at a glance. When he was in the warehouse before, he felt the difference in Wang Ran, so he rationally chose not to fight against Wang Ran, and obediently withdrew from N City. He never thought that Wang Ran would give him such a strong shock when they met again. Next to him, is the corpse emperor, that's right. And it is a corpse emperor stronger than himself. The little girl I saw before is also very strong now. Sure enough, it is the man that Chen Xiang dare not underestimate. Yo, are you also a corpse emperor? It's a good mix. Wang Ran smiled. I've been driven here like a dog now, that's not bad. Chen Xiang smiled bitterly. How about it, are you interested in letting all the zombies in City H belong to you? Wang Ran asked with a smile. Originally, Wang Ran wanted to find a guy to manage the zombies in H City, so that Tang Yan could take over the city smoothly. Chen Xiang is the most suitable candidate. I'm like this now. How dare you think about this? Chen Xiang continued to smile bitterly. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu Da Cha Xiao. Chapter 313. I'll help you kill that little white hair across from you. You should be able to deter other zombies, right? Wang Ran asked with a smile. This should be possible, but that guy is very strong, so it's hard to deal with. Chen Xiang said with a worried look. Awesome. Will it run away like a dog? Wang Ran smiled. Chen Xiang didn't know what to say. Didn't they escape because you used artillery bombardment? No one can handle this. Come on, let's go meet him for a while. Wang Ran led the crowd to climb up. Above, there are huge craters and corpses left by shells everywhere. The zombies have withdrawn for several kilometers, obviously afraid of the steel cannon. Many planes parked on the tarmac were also affected, and it seemed that there was no chance for maintenance. Wang Ran took the allied army of zombies and humans and walked towards the corpse tide. Not long after, Wang Ran stopped in front of a wall of corpses. There was a gap in the corpse wall, and a white-haired zombie came out of the gap. Humanity. Why do you want to get involved with our zombies? The white-haired zombie looked at Wang Ran and asked coldly. In the round of shelling just now, he lost at least hundreds of mutant zombies, which can be said to be heavy. If it wasn't for Wang Ran's appearance, he would have taken down Chen Xiang's group long ago. The zombie thing. I'm sorry, this H city, I want it, and it's not your turn to dictate. If you want to live, you'd better get out of here. Wang Ran responded with a smile. You. The white-haired zombie was stunned for a while. I didn't expect this human being to be so rigid. They only have such a small number of people, where do they come from? Cannons. This is the blind spot of the battleship's field of vision. If they fire indiscriminately, they themselves will be affected. The white-haired zombie thought about it, and the confidence in his heart was a little more. Human, I advise you to leave quickly. If you don't get in my way, I can send you some supplies that humans can use. The white-haired zombies began to bribe Wang Ran like material. What about sending the beggars? I'll give you 1 minute to consider whether to surrender or die. Wang Ran said coldly. The white-haired zombie was stunned. Is this human being so crazy? This made the white-haired zombie look carefully again. Corpse King. There is also a Corpse King beside this human being. In this way, in terms of top-level combat power alone, the white-haired zombies themselves are not as good as the other side. No wonder it's so arrogant. However, the real battle is not one or two powerful people can decide everything. Quantity can crush everything. There are hundreds of thousands of zombies behind the white-haired zombies. Even a hard push can push these guys on the opposite side. Of course, the only taboo of white-haired zombies is the USS Missouri parked on the sea. He was afraid that after he killed these humans, he would be bombarded indiscriminately. Therefore, it is naturally the best to solve it with your mouth. It's a pity that the human on the other side doesn't seem to buy it. Human, I gave you a chance. Since you don't accept it, then feel what is called a corpse tide. The white-haired zombie waved his hand, and the zombies behind him began to growl. They were ready to charge forward. Son-in-law, they're rushing over. We can't handle this amount. Tang Yan was a little worried. Although they are all elites, their physical strength is limited. If the opponent uses their lives to fill in, it won't take long for them to exhaust their stamina. Calm down, times have changed. Wang Ran smiled slightly and took out a special revolver from his waist. This was specially reformed by Lu Shiyao for Wang Ran. Wang Ran pressed under the trigger with his thumb, a small sharp needle pierced Wang Ran's skin, and blood flowed into the barrel along the needle. Special high-concentration bullets are activated. Wang Ran raised his gun and aimed at the white-haired zombie opposite. The white-haired zombie's eyelids jumped. Gun. Want to shoot me? Naive. A normal gun will at most make a small cut on my body, but my bones are very hard. The white-haired zombie smiled disdainfully. When he attacked the northern capital before, he was able to retreat under the sweep of the machine gun. With the revolver, what the hell? Wang Ran saw that the white-haired zombie didn't even hide, so he didn't know what to say. Since you have no desire to survive yourself, you can't blame me. Wang Ran shot directly at the throat of the white-haired zombie. The bullet with a high concentration of beetle venom quickly flew towards the white-haired zombie. The white-haired zombie was startled, and subconsciously put his hand in front of his throat. He is not afraid to say that the other party hits the head, his skull is the hardest part of the body. The words in the throat might really hurt. The bullet shot into the palm of the white-haired zombie and got stuck between the bones. With this little power, you want to kill me? The white-haired zombie smiled disdainfully and dug the bullet out of his palm with his nails. If the bullet hit the neck, it might have done a little more damage. The palm of your hand, it doesn't take long to heal. The white-haired zombie just threw the bullet on the ground, and his face changed instantly. His power is draining. This feels. The white-haired zombie's heart skipped a beat. This seems to be one of those terrifying bugs in the southwest. As long as you are bitten by this bug, the virus in your body will die out. No matter how powerful the zombies will be, the whole body will collapse and die. At that time, they fled all the way to the east to avoid this kind of bug, but they didn't expect to encounter it here again. No. Not bugs, just bullets. There is a problem with the bullet. In just a few seconds of hesitation, the arms of the white-haired zombie started to dry up and spread to the torso at a speed visible to the naked eye. The white-haired zombie made an immediate decision, tore off his entire arm and threw it on the ground. When a few hungry ordinary zombies saw the corpse emperor's arm, they jumped up to grab food without thinking. Before long, they became like this arm, exhausted and died. The white-haired zombie was panting weakly. That's too late. The hesitation just now made him miss the best opportunity to break his arm. The power in his body was draining like a flood. He knew that he was going to die. Grass, this human, came prepared. Why didn't I agree to surrender just now? The white-haired zombie shed tears of remorse. Unfortunately, it is too late to regret. The white-haired zombie slowly lay down on the ground, and immediately surrounded by ordinary zombies with no brains, and divided him up. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 314. In front of the corpse tide, thousands of zombies are still rushing forward. These are the elites of the white-haired zombies, and they are all powerful mutant zombies. In their opinion, one bullet can't kill their boss. Whoever kills a few more enemies will be able to gain more status in front of the boss. Ready to fight? Wang Ran roared, reminding the zombies and humans behind him. Dozens of Tang Yan's younger brothers took out their guns, and Chen Xiang and the zombies also stretched out their claws. This battle is for themselves, and they must not back down. Intensive gunshots sounded. Tang Yan and others first launched a round of shooting at the zombies 100 meters away. 200 or 300 zombies died directly halfway. Soon, the zombies were only 10 meters away. It. Tang Yan took out his axe and rushed out first. Dozens of younger brothers behind him also rushed forward. Chen Xiang took his hundreds of younger brothers, divided into two groups, and flanked them from both sides. As soon as the two sides came into contact, a large amount of flesh and stumps began to dance in the sky. The scene was quite tragic. "Uncle, won't you move?" Tang Tang asked aside. "This level of battle requires me to go out. Shouldn't my physical strength be used where it should be used?" Wang Ran smiled. "The place to use, that's right." Tang Tang nodded. "Then I'll go, I'm afraid my dad can't stand it." Tang Tang joined the battle with blood roar. Where Tang Tang has passed, no zombie can have a whole corpse. "Xiao, go and help. Reduce some of our losses." Wang Ran patted Su Xiao's butt. Su Xiao nodded, and with a flash of white light, he rushed directly into the battlefield. Wang Ran leisurely took out a can of coke from his backpack and watched the battle while drinking. Well, it's even more brutal for Tang Tang to kill zombies. Xiao's speed is faster, and killing zombies is very efficient, unlike Tang Tang, which only uses brute force. "That Chen Xiang is not bad," Wang Ran commented while watching, very leisurely. On the zombie side, because there is no corpse emperor level combat power, the rout is very fast. The only dozen or so red-eyed zombies died quickly under the massacres of Su Xiao, Tang Tang, and Chen Xiang. The rest are some scumbags. After a few minutes of fighting, all the enemy zombies fell. Only one person died on Tang Yan's side, and several people were injured, so the loss was not large. On Chen Xiang's side, he lost dozens of zombies, but it wasn't too bad. The enemy's elites were basically killed in this battle. In the corpse tide not far away, the rest are ordinary zombies and low-level mutant zombies. The rest should be easy to clean up, right? Wang Ran drank coke and walked to Chen Xiang. "Leave the rest to me." "Small idea." Chen Xiang walked towards the corpse tide, and the aura of the corpse emperor was released at once. Those low-level zombies who were not assertive were instantly controlled by this momentum, and lowered their heads to Chen Xiang in unison. The corpse tide is under control. Wang Ran and others came to Chen Xiang's side. "Everything is done, it's time to share the spoils," Wang Ran said with a smile. Tang Yan and Chen Xiang were both stunned. "The word splitting, it's pretty accurate. Tell me how to divide it?" "As long as it's not too much, I don't mind." Chen Xiang quickly expressed his position. If it wasn't for Wang Ran today, they would either kneel down to be a dog or die, and there would be no chance for them to turn over. As long as Wang Ran doesn't bully people too much, they can all accept it. "I really can't accept it, it's a big deal to start over in another place. We're a family, and I don't mind." Tang Yan shrugged. He didn't put much effort into winning the H-City, and it was up to Wang Ran to give more and less. "Okay, then I'll start dividing. The Jiading and Qingpu districts in the west of H-City will give you zombies to live in. Other areas, all belong to us humans. In those two districts, we will not interfere with any of your actions, but if there is chaos in other districts, we will kill you without mercy. In addition, you zombies can help us humans work in exchange for food. There will be a lot of infrastructure projects to do in H-City next. Do you think there is a problem?" Wang Ran asked. "No problem." Chen Xiang nodded. "Two areas, to be honest, are enough to accommodate these hundreds of thousands of zombies. Zombies also like a comfortable life and don't want to kill every day just to survive. If Wang Ran can really provide food, zombies and humans can really get along peacefully." Immediately afterwards, Wang Ran looked at Tang Yan. "We're a family, so I'll just say it directly. H-City, I don't have the energy to manage it, so I'll leave it to you. The ports, ground transportation, warehousing, etc. here, you need to get them back up and running as soon as possible. The materials that were lacking in the early stage can be shipped from N City. I think it is necessary to build a wall around the coastline like N City. For specific drawings and construction methods, the experts on my side will give you advice. Finally, it's planting. We can provide you with specially cultivated crops. These crops have a fast growth cycle and can be eaten by humans and zombies. Eating them can also increase their strength slightly. After your side has stabilized production, basically there will be no shortage of food. Wang Ran said lightly. Is that the kind of vegetables we ate in N City? Can zombies eat? No wonder you said you can provide food to zombies. Tang Yan sighed. The biggest conflict between humans and zombies is food. Zombies are like carnivores and humans are like herbivores. Most of the fighting between the two sides is because of this. If you can produce a lot of food for both humans and zombies, then everyone will get along more harmoniously. However, we don't provide these things for nothing. When the situation here stabilizes, I will take 30% of the output of crops and light industry here. Wang Ran stretched out his finger and gestured. It's kind of colonial. However, Wang Ran does not interfere with the management here, as long as the supplies. Well, that's reasonable. Tang Yan nodded. This place was won by Wang Ran with the help of Wang Ran, and the technology was also provided by Wang Ran. It was very reasonable for him to draw 30%. No. At least 40%. Tang Tang suddenly jumped out and said. Wang Ran and Tang Yan were stunned at the same time. It's really my father's sweet little padded jacket. Raise the price. Okay, 4 makes 40%. Tang Yan made a decision on the spot. If this crop is as short-cycled and high-yield as Wang Ran said, it's okay to give more. The booty-sharing conference was soon over, and all parties were satisfied with the result. Add more. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 315. Inside an underground research institute in Antarctica. The siren kept echoing in the air. There are bloodstains and stumps everywhere in the passage of the institute. 2 researchers, a man and a woman, supported each other and ran to the exit. There are still 100 meters to the exit. Come on. The gate of the research institute is very strong, and it can definitely block that thing. The man covered the wound on his lower abdomen with one hand and supported the female researcher with the other. No. No. It's too fast, we can't escape. The woman was a little desperate, her lips trembling slightly. The roars and collisions behind him were getting closer, and something was getting closer. From time to time, a sharp rubbing sound pierced into the ears of the two of them. It was the sound of sharp claws rubbing against metal. The two of them could already clearly feel the vibration of the ground. Yes, you are right. It's too fast for the two of us to escape. The man muttered. There are still 50 meters away, too late, too late. The man looked back, and in the darkness, a sharp claw was reaching out to them. It was like the of death was greeting them, making people fall into the abyss of despair. Without any hesitation, the man pushed the woman back. A red spot appeared on the white shirt on the woman's chest instantly, and then spread to the entire chest. A sharp claw easily penetrated her chest. The woman stared at the front, and she refused to believe that her boss and her boyfriend would push her to death at this juncture. Crack, crack. The woman's body is being chewed by the monster in the dark. The man turned his head and hurried to the door. The woman's death bought him a few seconds. The door is getting closer and closer, and the hope in the man's eyes is getting stronger and stronger. Just a few steps away. Just a few steps away from escaping. At this time, the monster behind seemed to have eaten the woman's heart and started chasing after the man. The man glanced. There is a prominent button on the side of the door. This is a destructive button set up to prevent the institute from getting out of control. If no one cancels it within 10 seconds of pressing it, a large number of bombs buried under the research institute will detonate quickly, blowing the entire research institute into slag. The man hesitated for a fraction of a second. Do not. Can't press. If you press it, the monster will die, but you will also die. A strong desire to survive made him give up his responsibilities. The man rushed out of the door in one big step, and then controlled the half-meter-thick iron gate to close. Call. The man leaned against the iron door, breathing heavily. Although the air outside was icy and biting, making his nasal cavity extremely tingling, he didn't care about him and was panting desperately. This is the taste of freedom. Not far away is the company's snowmobile. As long as you get on the bus and drive for half an hour, you can reach the transfer station of the company. There are helicopters there, and you can escape this terrible place by going up. The man took a few deep breaths and regained some strength. When he was about to get up and run towards the snowmobile, there was a muffled sound behind him. No, this guy wants to knock on the door. The man immediately got up to run, but a sharp claw directly pierced the half-meter-thick iron gate, right through the man's heart. Do not. The man vomited blood, with an expression of disbelief on his face. Is this guy so strong? I knew it earlier, I pressed that button. The man tilted his head and became cold. With a sharp screeching sound, a large piece of the sturdy iron door was shaved off. A burly monster came out, grabbed the man's body, and dug out his heart. The monster's head is like a monitor lizard, with a big mouth and a tongue that rolls the heart into the mouth like lightning. Gollum. The monster swallowed his heart. He looked around and found no other creatures. Not enough to eat? The monster thought about it and ran in a certain direction. The top floor of a hotel in Vegas, USA. Tang Jun got up from the pile of female zombies and put on a nightgown. Since regaining his manhood, he has been immersed in simple pleasures every day. Moreover, he found that frequent exercise with female zombies can actually improve his strength. Now he has reached the strength of a 7th-level awakener. Tang Jun stood on the balcony, looking at the still lively Vegas, feeling like he was ruling the world. He couldn't help taking off his nightgown and began to release himself on the balcony. Boss. There is a situation. A little brother rushed into the room and was shocked. He saw Tang Jun, who was self-reliant on the balcony. It's over, I'm going to die. The little brother's heart froze. The employee who bumped into the boss and the female zombie movement last time seems to have been buried in the ground. What's up? Tang Jun frowned, his interest was interrupted. However, he also knew that his employees would not have been so reckless if they had not encountered a major incident. Boss, an emergency signal has been sent from the Antarctic base. The combination of the zombie virus and the ancient virus broke through the confinement and massacred in the laboratory. After receiving the signal, we contacted the Antarctic base many times, but no one responded. We're guessing. The people at the Antarctic base may have been massacred. The Antarctic Transit Station has already sent someone to inquire in the direction of the base, but just now even the Antarctic Transit Station lost contact. The younger brother said nervously. This ancient virus, is it so strong? The strength of the Antarctic laboratory is not weak, can this be completely destroyed? Is the self-destruct mechanism activated? Tang Jun asked with a frown. People at the transfer station said that they didn't feel any explosions, and they probably didn't start. That experimental subject should still be alive. The younger brother reports. That's good. This is an extremely precious experimental body. If I could get this power. Tang Jun's desire for strength was written on his face. How is the progress of our latest tyrant zombie? Tang Jun asked. The tyrant has entered mass production, and its strength is stable at the red pupil level. There are currently 20 tyrants that can be used. The younger brother replied. Send a team and bring 10 tyrants to the Antarctic base to find clues. Despite life or death, you must bring this thing back. Also, what did you see just now? Cut out an eye myself. Tang Jun said coldly. Yes. Boss. The younger brother breathed a sigh of relief. It was just one eye, and his life was finally saved. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu Cha Xiao. Chapter 316. 10 days later, the Doomsday Command Center in the northern capital. Lin Lai frowned and paced the room. The Zhangqiazu team sent to Africa to rescue the Chinese survivors has been missing for several days. It stands to reason that Zhangqiazu is a 5th level awakener, and the rest of the team are also elites. Even if there is any crisis, at least they will not be wiped out. Is there no chance to make a satellite phone call? Dad, Team Lin, don't worry, Lao Zhang and the others are very experienced, so nothing will happen. Now it is estimated that there is some difficulty, and I can't contact us for the time being. A young female warrior with big eyes said from the side. It can be seen that her eyes are also full of worry. No. I have to go to Africa. Old Zhang's wife and children are still waiting for him at home, I have to go and bring him back. Lin Lai clenched his fists. This guy, old Zhang, will rush to go every time he has a mission. The last time I was trapped in the southwest, I was lucky to get back thanks to Wang Ran's help. This time, there was a situation in Africa, and it was over without hesitation. If he comes back, he must never be allowed to go out to work again. Dad, why don't you let me go? How can I say that I am also a level 5 awakened? You still have to stay here to guard the northern capital. The young female warrior stood up. She wanted to go out for a long time, but unfortunately Lin Lai never agreed. This time, it's a great opportunity. Lin Chuang, don't fool around. Your strength still needs to be improved. When you reach the 6th level, consider field work. Lin Lai decisively rejected his daughter's proposal. Although her daughter Lin Chuang has the strength of a level 5 awakener, she has too little actual combat experience to compare with Zhangqiazu and others. Even Zhangqiazu was in trouble, and Lin Chuang went to no avail. Team Lin. There is news. An operator suddenly stood up excitedly. It was a call from a team going to Africa, and it broke after only 2 words. The operator said solemnly. Lin Lai's expression changed. Looking at the operator's reaction, the situation is not very good. What did they say? Lin Lai clenched his fists and asked. He said. Don't come. The operator gritted his teeth. Although these 2 words are very simple, their meaning is obvious. Something terrible must have happened to this team. Moreover, they have given up waiting for rescue. Don't come, that is, let Baidu stop saving them. You can imagine how difficult they made this call. They should know that if they don't make this call, Baidu will definitely send someone to find them. The situation over there is definitely not that serious. No, I still have to go. Even if they die, I have to bring their bodies back. Lin Lai hammered the tabletop, and the marble-top tabletop was directly smashed with many cracks. Dad, I'll go with you. Lin Chuang said with a firm expression. No, you stay here and guard the northern capital for me. Lin Lai said and left the command room. He wants to take people to Africa immediately. Not long after, an elite team set off from the airport under the leadership of Lin Lai. Not long after Lin Lai's plane flew out, a figure sneaked into the airport. It was Lin Lai's daughter Lin Chuang. "This plane's fuel tank is too small, I won't drive this one, this one." Lin Chuang looked at the plane that was parked on the side. She planned to keep up with Lin Lai secretly, hoping to help. "Lin Chuang. What are you doing here?" A gentle voice sounded behind Lin Chuang. "Zhao Qi. I'm checking the plane." Lin Chuang was a little flustered. It's against the discipline to sneak away by yourself, and it's bad if someone finds out. This Zhao Qi is also a level 5 awakener. Because his strength has improved rapidly, he has received the attention of the above and plans to focus on training. "Are you planning to secretly follow to Africa to help Team Lin?" The corners of Zhao Qi's mouth twitched slightly. As an excellent representative of the young generation in Baidu, Zhao Qi can be said to be the idol of thousands of girls in Baidu. However, Zhao Qi looked down on those women. In his eyes, only Lin Chuang is worthy of him. Lin Chuang has already made Zhao Qi want to move just based on her appearance, not to mention that she is the daughter of Lin Lai, the of war in the northern capital. As long as he wins Lin Chuang, his status in the northern capital will be like a rocket, and maybe he will be able to take over the position of the of war Lin Lai in a few years. Unfortunately, Lin Chuang was always cold and ignored him. This made Zhao Qi very depressed. What is it that is not worthy of her? If you were another woman, if you gave yourself a good face, they would have pounced on him long ago. Now, it seems that it is a good opportunity to get closer to Lin Chuang. "Zhao Qi, don't talk nonsense, I just take a look." Lin Chuang defended. "It's really unfortunate that I bumped into Zhao Qi here. It looks like I'll have to go again at night when there's no one else around. It's just the two of us here, let's go straight." "You want to go to Africa, right?" "I'll go with you," Zhao Qi said with a smile. "This is a good opportunity to get closer to Lin Chuang. Go together. You won't report me." Lin Chuang was stunned. Zhao Qi, who is usually quite rigid, would actually say such things. This made Lin Chuang a little strange. Northern capital now has well-established defensive measures. Level 5 awakens like us should go out and practice, otherwise their strength will stagnate. Going to Africa will not only help the Lin team, but also have the opportunity to participate in actual combat. What a great opportunity, why should I report you? Zhao Qi smiled. This set of rhetoric is very rigorous, and people can't find loopholes. It's, well. Lin Chuang hesitated for a while and then nodded. It seemed that he had to go with Zhao Qi. Although Zhao Qi is excellent, Lin Chuang always feels that this person makes her a little uncomfortable. I don't know why. This time Zhao Qi has spoken, and Lin Chuang can only reluctantly agree. The two picked a plane at the airport and took off secretly before the airport staff could react. When the plane reached a certain height, Lin Chuang breathed a sigh of relief. Finally got out? Lin Chuang, don't worry, I will protect you no matter what danger you encounter this time. Zhao Qi offered his attention. As an ordinary woman, hearing Zhao Qi, who looks like a dog, say such words, he would have been moved long ago. Unfortunately, Lin Chuang is not an ordinary woman. She glanced at Zhao Qi, always feeling that his heart was impure. If it weren't for this emergency, she would not be willing to get along with Zhao Qi alone. 5 Group 59714868. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 317. In a villa on Donghu Island, Zhou Meng is teaching the children a lesson. The orangutan and Xiao Jin were also asked to sit there and listen to the class. Classmates, do you know the meaning of the following poem? The apes on both sides of the Taiwan Strait cannot sing. Zhou Meng asked. I know. Just like our island, at night, there will be calls from Uncle Wang Ran's villa, and they keep calling. Isn't that right, Teacher Nun? A 5 or 6-year-old girl blinked her eyes and asked innocently. Zhou Meng's chest felt tight. This is so. The nun wanted to swear. Who is it that screams so loudly at night? Even the kids heard it? Let's change a poem. The bird sits in the tree by the pond, and the monk knocks on the door under the moon. Does any classmates know what this poem means? Zhou Meng calmed down and asked with a smile. There is no cry in the sentence, it should not make the children think about it. Mr. Nun, I know this. When the monk knocks on the door under the moon, does it mean that someone is visiting others under the moonlight? An older girl raised her hand and said. Well, you're right. Zhou Meng's eyes lit up. This answer is more serious, and her teaching order has finally returned to normal. Just when Zhou Meng was about to praise the child opened his mouth again. Mr. Nun, you knock on Uncle Wang Ran's door every night under the moonlight. Are you also visiting Uncle Wang Ran? The little girl looked up and asked. Puff. Zhou Meng felt a pain in her chest, as if she had suffered an internal injury. How to teach this? Hey. The orangutan and Xiaojin who were sitting at the back of the classroom couldn't help laughing. Let you force us to listen to the class, now let people see a joke. What are you laughing? How dare you disrupt my teaching order? Zhou Meng rushed to the back of the classroom with a ruler, and beat the orangutan and Xiaojin, making them whimper. The children in the classroom had never seen such a big fire in Zhou Meng, and they all sat down obediently. Get out of class. Zhou Meng fought for a while, then let out a sigh of relief and ended today's teaching. The orangutan, Xiaojin, and the children hurriedly left the classroom, for fear of being left behind for corporal punishment. Zhou Meng's heart seemed to be still not smooth, and after thinking about it, she still came to Wang Ran's villa. In the villa, Wang Ran was whipping the handcuffed Lu Shuangshuang with a leather whip. Lu Shuangshuang's long legs twisted back and forth, very dazzling. Hey, are you finished with your class? Seeing Zhou Meng come in, Wang Ran stopped beating. Lu Shuangshuang curled up into a ball, not shy. I'm so off. Zhou Meng sternly said what happened in the class. Puff. Both Wang Ran and Lu Shuangshuang couldn't help laughing. It is conceivable how embarrassing the serious Zhou Meng is in front of those children. Dare you laugh? Zhou Meng threw the ruler in his hand to Wang Ran. Wang Ran reacted quickly, grabbed the ruler, then stepped forward, picked up Zhou Meng by the waist, and threw it onto the bed. Zhou Meng blushed. I just came to complain, I didn't want to join. Forget it, come here, then accept it calmly. Wang Ran was about to step forward to clean up Zhou Meng when the satellite phone beside him suddenly rang. Hey! Wang Ran picked up the phone. Is that Comrade Wang Ran? I'm Lin Lai. Long story short, I'm in Africa right now and I've met some tough guys. These things are a bit different from mutant zombies, and their strength is far higher than mutant zombies. The most frightening thing is that they are constantly expanding their populations. If you don't hold back, the world will end. You are the most powerful person I know. For the safety of the world, I ask you to come and help me. Lin Lai spoke very fast, obviously encountered great difficulties. So serious. Wang Ran was stunned. Lin Lai is the god of war in the northern capital, his strength and mentality are as stable as an old dog. It must be a big deal to make him cry for help in such a hurry. Africa, is it possible that the zombies have produced new mutations under the high temperature? Very serious. Otherwise I wouldn't have the cheek to ask you for help. This is my coordinate XXXXXX, let's not talk about it, I was found, and I will try my best again. After Lin Lai finished speaking, he hung up the phone directly. Wang Ran's expression was a little solemn. A serious person like Lin Lai should not fool him. It seems that Africa does have something that threatens the world. Although Wang Ran is not a nosy, if something threatens him, he will never tolerate it. Master, what's wrong? Are we going to continue? The deer stretched out their long legs. Something happened, I have to go. As Wang Ran said that, he picked up the clothes on the sofa and put them on. Lu Shuang listened, easily broke free from the handcuffs, and put on stockings beside him. Master, take me with you this time. I'm also a level 7 awakener anyway. Lu Shuang put her long legs in silk stockings on Wang Ran's shoulders, and brushed Wang Ran's earlobe with the tips of his toes. I'm going too. I've never been out. I'm also at the level of red pupil level now. Zhou Meng also wanted to join in the fun. Obviously, she has understood the benefits of going out with Wang Ran. Xiao Meng, you stay here and teach the children a lesson. Shuang, you have to be responsible for the safety of the island. You two stay well, and I'll reward you when I get back. Wang Ran was soothed. Zhou Meng and Lu Shuang glanced at each other and nodded silently. Although they sometimes get carried away by certain sports, they also know their responsibilities. Wang Ran came to the big pool. The girls gathered a few tables of mahjong and were playing in full swing. 13. Ha ha ha, I won again. 50 ml of stock per person, it's on the account. Lin Momo clapped his hands happily. Since she started playing mahjong, she has won 500 ml of futures. Other girls must find a way to collect them and pay her back. Sister Momo, you said you wouldn't. This is a few wins. Wu Jiaxin complained. She was not good at collecting, and she outputted 200 ml all at once, which was really depressing. Oh, the newcomer is very lucky. Don't worry, your luck will come too. Lin Momo skillfully shuffled the cards. Hey, master, you're here. Would you like a few laps? Wu Jiaxin stood up and asked that she lost so badly that she was afraid that she would be a laborer for a while. Add more. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 318. Okay, stop for a while. I'm going to go to Africa soon, so. Wang Ran glanced around, thinking about whom to take with him. Xiao, Momo, Tang, the three of you will take a plane with me. Wang Ran named it. Since Xiao Hong was promoted to Corpse Emperor a few days ago, Momo has also been free and can take it out. Xiao, Momo, and Tang are the highest combat powers here except Wang Ran. With the three of them flying over, the speed will be faster. Jiaxin, you drive the helicopter to the Missouri and follow the Missouri. Although the speed of the ship is a little slower, it might need artillery support along the coast, so it's better to go there. I will let Wu Jiangguo lead a small team to follow the boat. You can go to the east coast of Africa first, and wait for my order at any time. Wang Ran continued to instruct. It will take at least a few days to sail over. But in order to be safe, Wang Ran decided to send the Missouri out. Maybe you can get some supplies back. It's a pity that the girls in the flight attendant class are generally in the 5th grade, and they are not good or bad. If it is a little more powerful, it can be brought out to fight. It seems that in the future, I can't be too greedy for comfort, and I have to upgrade from once a week to 3 times per person. After the arrangement was made, everyone took action. Wang Ran and the 3 main forces first got on the Black Eagle and flew towards the coordinates given by Lin Lai. This Black Hawk has been equipped with a fuel tank, and its battery life has been increased by more than 1,500 kilometers. However, it is still necessary to go to HK to refuel once in the middle. On the plane, Su Xiao and Lin Momo looked at Wang Ran with smiles on their faces. Wang Ran was stunned. It's better not to. With our current strength, it is easy to cause dangerous driving. Wang Ran waved his hand. No matter how strong you are still afraid of crashing. Falling from such a high height is expected to be cold. Or, in a gentler way. Su Xiao suggested. Lin Momo nodded in agreement. Wang Ran nodded helplessly. Somewhere in the pyramid of Khufu, Lin Lai helped the seriously injured Zhang Qiaozu to hide behind a stone gate, panting. Team Lin, leave me alone, hurry up and leave. If you take me with you, it may hurt you. Zhang Qiaozu was covered in injuries, especially the several claw marks on his chest, with deep bones. It is estimated that a few minutes deeper, his internal organs will be seriously injured. What do you say? I have no chance to save the other brothers, you and I must bring them back. Your wife and children are still waiting for you in the north. Lin Lai glared at Zhang Qiaozu. The elites who followed Lin Lai this time have all been folded here, and only he and Zhang Qiaozu are left. Team Lin, those things are too powerful. You can't run away with me. The injuries on Zhang Qiaozu's body were caused by those things, and he knew very well how powerful those things were. Stop talking. Even if you die, I will take your body back. Lin Lai took a deep breath and rushed out with Zhang Qiaozu on his back. In the passage, several huge lizards and gerbils were rushing fast. They obviously discovered Lin Lai's whereabouts. Lin Lai supported Zhang Qiaozu, and his speed was much slower, and he was about to be caught up by the monsters behind him. Grass, this can't be done. Old Zhang, support the wall. I do it first. Lin Lai helped Zhang Qiaozu aside, turned around and took out two iron-fingered tigers. The aura of the northern war god burst out instantly. Fizz. The mutant lizard running at the front felt the momentum ahead and was a little stunned. But they didn't stop, they still roared and rushed forward. One punch. While the mutant lizard running at the front did not slow down, Lin Lai threw a punch with 10% of his power. The iron-fingered tiger directly deformed the mutant lizard's head. Before the mutant lizard could explode, he took the lunge directly. However, Lin Lai was not feeling well either. The huge recoil made his arm aching. With a full blow like this, he couldn't make too many hits. Soon, the two mutant lizards and three mutant gerbils also rushed to Lin Lai. The two sides fought together. The mutant lizard was fine, because of its huge size, Lin Lai could still handle it. The most uncomfortable is the mutant gerbil. This thing is small and flexible, with sharp teeth and sharp mouth, leaving many wounds on Lin Lai's body. Lin Lai's fist continued to cause damage to the mutant lizards, and even the stone walls of the pyramid passage were punched with many potholes. After some entanglement, Lin Lai finally killed two mutant lizards. But these three mutant gerbils gave Lin Lai a headache. A gerbil left a claw mark on Lin Lai's face, and the wound slanted across his left eye from his forehead. Fortunately, Lin Lai's brow bone was protruding, and this time he didn't hurt his eyeball. Boom! A shot goes off. A gerbil was shot in the eye and its head burst open. Don't look down on the wounded. I can still use a gun. Zhang Qiaozu smiled aside. The mutant gerbil was unguarded against him, letting his bullet hit the most vulnerable place. Lin Lai's pressure suddenly dropped, and he took the opportunity to trample a mutant gerbil to death. The other one wanted to escape, but was directly pulled by Lin Lai's tail and picked up. One punch. Two punches. The mutant gerbil was directly pressed against the wall by Lin Lai and made into a patty. Call. Lin Lai finally breathed a sigh of relief. These mutant creatures are really difficult to deal with. It doesn't feel the same as an animal infected by a zombie virus. Lin Lai flicked the minced meat from his hands. Indeed, we have used the virus-inhibiting dust given by researcher Liu, and the effect on them is not obvious. Could it be that the virus in them has mutated? Zhang Qiaozu guessed. It's possible that. Lin Lai took out a thermos cup, poured out the wolfberry soaked in it, grabbed a lump of mutated gerbil and stuffed it inside. This thing should be taken back to the research institute for analysis. Let's go, there is a steady stream of mutant creatures here, we don't have time to rest. Lin Lai picked up Zhang Qiaozu and continued to run towards the exit. A few minutes later, the two came to a more spacious stone room. Here, I remember here. 2 more passages to the exit. There was hope in John Kuazu's eyes. After fighting for so long, I finally found an exit. Lin Lai was not so optimistic, and suddenly stopped. Team Lin, don't scare me. Seeing Lin Lai's reaction, John Kuazu immediately took out his gun. Under the sarcophagus in the middle of the stone room, there was a terrifying sound. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu Da Cha Xiao. Chapter 319. Go. Hurry up. Lin Lai supported John Kuazu and ran towards the entrance quickly. Before they could cross the sarcophagus in the middle, the lid of the sarcophagus was pushed open a crack. With a low rubbing sound, a dry arm stretched out from the sarcophagus. Big Zongzi. John Kuazu exclaimed. Zongzi, you are tall, this is from out of town, it's called mummy. Lin Lai held John Kuazu on his back and wanted to go around quickly. Crunch. The lid of the sarcophagus was pushed open, and a zombie in modern clothes crawled out of it. Look, it's just an ordinary zombie. Where do you get such an unscientific thing as a mummy? It is estimated that they hid after the outbreak of the virus. Lin Lai breathed a sigh of relief, and was almost frightened himself. The two were about to cross the sarcophagus soon, and Lin Lai didn't dare to be careless and kept staring at this dry zombie. The rustling sound did not stop. There's still something in the sarcophagus. Really? A mutant gerbil suddenly jumped out of the sarcophagus. It jumped directly to the shoulder of the dry zombie, and it was a mouthful to the neck. The dry zombie wailed, but because his throat was too dry, it sounded like a gasp. Immediately afterwards, more than a dozen mutant gerbils poured out together. The dry zombies were bitten by the bones in an instant. Lin Lai didn't dare to delay at all, and ran out desperately with John Kuazu on his back. But he still underestimated the mutant gerbil. After the mutant gerbils devoured the unfortunate zombie, they immediately rushed to Lin Lai. They seemed to be a little brainy, and half of the mutant gerbils went around the passage to block the way. Yes, I can't leave this time. A dozen or so, it's hard to deal with. Lin Lai gritted his teeth. A flexible and small thing like a mutant gerbil is much more difficult to deal with than a mutant twatera. At this moment, a voice suddenly came from the passage. It's footsteps. Immediately afterwards, the light of the flashlight came out first. Dad? Are you all right? Lin Chuang appeared at the entrance, followed by Zhao Qi. Lin Chuang. Why are you here? Lin Lai's emotions were extremely complicated. On the one hand, with the help of 2 level 5 awakeners, their hope of escaping is higher. On the other hand, he is also worried about the safety of his daughter. Watch out for these mutant gerbils, they are very flexible. Lin Lai reminded. As soon as the words fell, the mutant gerbil at the entrance of the passage rushed towards Lin Chuang and Zhao Qi. Lin Chuang had 2 daggers in his hands, and used his flexible movements to deal with these mutant gerbils. Zhao Qi took out a flashlight and threw it directly into the gerbil group. Pay attention to the flash, Zhao Qi reminded. A bright light flashed. These mutant gerbils have been in the dark environment, and the sudden flash bombs pierced their eyes like knives. Most of the mutant gerbils lost their fighting ability at once, and kept rolling on the ground. This gave Lin Lai and others a chance. They took the opportunity to quickly harvest the lives of these mutant gerbils. Soon, with the joint efforts of several people, the gerbils in the stone chamber were cleaned up. Zhao Qi, you did a good job. Lin Lai said in a tone of appreciation. Zhao Qi's mind is quite flexible when he thinks of using flash bombs at such a time. Where? I'm just. Before Zhao Qi could finish his words, the sound of Zixi Suzuo sounded again below the sarcophagus. No, these things are here again. Go quickly. Lin Lai didn't give Zhao Qi a chance to be proud, and immediately led someone out of the passage. 2 minutes later, everyone finally ran out of the pyramid. Seeing the bright sunshine overhead, Lin Lai and Zhang Qiaozu finally breathed a sigh of relief. This is what it feels like to escape from death. Team Lin, I'm going to blow up the entrance. Zhao Qi took out a grenade and was about to pull out the needle. Do not. This place, I have to go in again. Lin Lai stopped Zhao Qi immediately. What? All three present were shocked. In such a dangerous place, do you want to go in again? Are you kidding? Dad, don't mess around. Lin Chuang was so nervous that she almost cried. She had just played against mutant gerbils and knew how powerful they were. There must be more than a few gerbils in this pyramid. It's too dangerous to go in again. No, I have to go in. The things in it are different from the mutant creatures we have come into contact with before, and they are multiplying rapidly. You have also seen that the little mutant gerbils are so powerful. If their numbers continue to increase, they will be a threat to the entire world. I must go in again and serve them in one pot. Lin Lai said with a firm attitude. But it's a bit difficult for us alone. Lin Chuang reminded. If there was no flashbang just now, it would be a little difficult for them to escape, but now Lin Lai actually said that he would go in and take the mutant creatures inside. Yeah, Team Lin, why don't we go back first, gather a large army and come back? Zhao Qi also persuaded him. No. It's too late. When Lao Zhang and the others first came, there weren't that many mutant creatures here. In just a few days, the number has at least doubled. You can see how fast they reproduce. If you drag it on, the consequences will be unimaginable. Lin Lai sighed. But Lin Chuang wanted to continue to persuade. Don't be, I've already found someone to come to support, and it won't be long before I arrive. As soon as he arrives, we will act. When Lin Lai thought of Wang Ran, he felt more at ease. With him around, it should be fine. Support? Who? Even Dad, you are so embarrassed. Is it useful for others to come? Lin Chuang muttered. Zhao Qi frowned beside him. He and Lin Chuang came to support and rescued Lin Lai and Zhang Qiaozu, which was already perfect. If someone else helps Lin Lai to deal with these mutant creatures, wouldn't his credit be insignificant? Team Lin, shouldn't it be him? Zhang Qiaozu, who was sitting on the ground, jumped up. He thought of a person. A man who had rescued him twice and was terrifyingly strong. If he comes, maybe it can really get rid of those snakes, worms, and ants in it. Yes, it's him. Lin Lai smiled and nodded. Thinking of this man, Lin Lai felt a sense of solidity in his heart. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 320. You. Who are you talking about, mysterious? Lin Chuang was confused by the side. The two sang together, and the person who said it seemed to be very powerful. Do you remember that Uncle Zhang went to the southwest region on a mission last time and was hunted down by an organization? It was this Wang Ran who saved him. Comrade Wang Ran is a good comrade. Strong strength and good character. You guys seem to be about the same age. In the future, you can communicate more and learn from others. Lin Lai said with a smile. About my age. How awesome can that be? Lin Chuang shook her head, her face unconvinced. At this age, no matter how powerful he is, can he be more powerful than his father, god of war in the northern capital? Zhao Qi's eyes suddenly turned gloomy. A man about the same age as Lin Chuang? How much to communicate? Zhao Qi felt that this person named Wang Ran was very likely to pose a threat to himself. Gotta figure out a way to do something. Go, don't stay here, those gerbils are afraid of light, but the mutant lizards are not. Let's find a place to rest first. Lin Lai said. The four found the off-road vehicle parked nearby and drove towards a nearby desert town. Along the way, yellow sand filled the air. Dry zombie corpses can occasionally be seen in the desert. The sun here is very fierce, and most of the zombies can't survive the exposure and become mummified corpses. Because of the environment, many humans in the desert were lucky enough to survive. They all gathered in the desert town. City. It is impossible to go. Although the living environment in the city is good, it is the same for the zombies. With buildings sheltering from the wind and rain, the city has become the best gathering place for zombies. After a 10-minute drive, Lin Lai and his party came to the town. At the entrance of the town, a few ragged children were sitting there playing with stones. When they saw the car approaching, they immediately surrounded them. Sugar. The children surrounded the car and began begging for things. Don't give it to them. When Lin Chuang was about to dig something into her bag, Zhao Qi stopped her. If you give it to them, they will think you are easy to bully, and then the whole town will hit you. Don't make trouble for yourself. Zhao Qi persuaded. Just a few packets of cookies, it's not that serious. Lin Chuang frowned. These children all look very thin, they must have been hungry for a long time. I've been to a lot of backcountry before, and believe me, people are like that. Zhao Qi insisted. But, if you don't give it to them, they won't leave. Lin Chuang pointed at the children who surrounded the car to death. These little beasts, if you don't give some color, you won't know how good I am. Zhao Qi rolled up his sleeves and was about to find a child to kill the chickens as an example. For him, this was a good opportunity to perform in front of Lin Lai and Lin Chuang. However, Lin Lai and Lin Chuang frowned at the same time. They did not agree with Zhao Qi's approach. Just as Zhao Qi was about to get out of the car, another engine sound came from outside the town. 3 jeeps drove through the wind and sand and parked behind the cars of Lin Lai and others. Seeing that the car in front refused to give anything, the children rushed to surround the new car behind. Boom! A shot goes off. The child scattered in an instant, escaping without a trace. On the jeep, a strong bald man walked down. Annoying sparrow. The bald man kicked the corpse of a child aside. Lin Chuang, who was in the car in front, suddenly became excited. He's just a kid. Killed just because he surrounded the car? Unacceptable. Lin Chuang was about to rush down to the theory, but was stopped by Lin Lai. Do not impulse. I can't stand this situation, but don't forget the heavy responsibility we shoulder. Also, Lao Zhang is still injured, we don't want to make extra troubles. Although Lin Lai was annoyed, he quickly calmed down. Lin Lai drove his car into the depths of the town and came to a private house. Hello, can we take a break at your house? I can pay you gold. Lin Lai asked a local old man who was looking at the window. Gold? No, I want food. The old man said with narrowed eyes. Ro. Lin Lai took out a pack of compressed biscuits and threw them away. The old man took the biscuits, tore open the package and smelled them, then showed a happy expression. Soon, the old man came over and opened the door. It seems that compressed biscuits are a good stepping stone. Lin Lai and Zhao Qi helped Zhang Qiaozu into the house together. The light in this room is relatively dim, and there is no valuable furniture, so the conditions are not very good. But these days, it's not easy to survive. Zhang Qiaozu was helped to lie down on a bed. Team Lin, I feel like give me another hour or two and I'll be able to regain my strength. Zhang Qiaozu said with a smile. The recovery ability of the awakened is still very strong. In an hour or two, Comrade Wang Ran will almost be able to arrive. Let's just stay here for a while. Lin Lai sat down on the ground and let out a long breath. Only now has he completely relaxed. At this time, the old man led a girl out from the back room. Judging from her age and appearance, she seems to be his daughter. The girl looked at the outsiders while nibbling on the compressed biscuits. My daughter, please enjoy. The old man lowered his head and said. Lin Lai and the others were all stunned. Enjoy. This old man thinks too much. Sorry, we just wanted to come in and have a rest. Have not thought. Lin Lai immediately waved his hand and refused. He can't do this. Don't say his daughter is there, even if she's not. What? I thought you were the same as the other outsiders. The old man sighed. It seems that his daughter suffered a lot before. In the last days, ordinary people like this don't have many choices. Lin Chuang felt some sympathy for the girl, so she took out a bar of chocolate from her bag and handed it to the girl. The girl's eyes lit up when she saw the chocolate, and she secretly glanced at Lin Chuang's backpack. There should be a lot of food there. Take it, it's for you. Lin Chuang said with a smile. The girl immediately took the chocolate and ran back to the back room. It looks like it's time to enjoy this chocolate. You guys rest, I'll stay behind first. The old man also left. Team Lin, what are your plans after that? There are a lot of monsters in there, you have to think of a way. Zhang Qiaozu asked. Add more.